Contrary to popular belief, the poverty population in Arizona is not represented by street corner panhandlers holding signs and asking for money. Instead, our poverty population is a working one, employed on a full or part-time basis by some of our state's largest employers. Hello, I'm Chief Justice Scott Bales of the Arizona Supreme Court. I'm visiting with you today to talk about equal access to justice for all Arizonans, what the problem is, what we are trying to do about it, and how you can help. The percentage of Arizonans who live at or below the federal poverty level continues to rise, and per the latest census data, is now over 18%, or more than 1 million people in our state. Our state's demographics and geography pose special challenges. Both the elderly and the very young are relatively large percentages of our population. We also have a large Native American population, and approximately 40% of our Native Americans live at or below the federal poverty level. At the same time, however, our most urban areas, Phoenix and Tucson, have high poverty levels as well, and the Phoenix-Scottsdale Mesa metropolitan area has a poverty level of over 20%, ranking third in the nation. This chart shows you the percentage of Arizonans by county that live at or below the federal poverty level. These folks have the same civil legal challenges we all face, issues involving housing, employment, medical care, family disputes, and consumer protection. They need lawyers to help them understand their obligations and to enforce their rights. Arizona has three main legal aid agencies: Community Legal Services, Southern Arizona Legal Aid, and DNA People's Legal Services. Unfortunately, there are too few lawyers who work for legal aid to meet the growing need. For every 3 individuals who even know to ask for legal aid help, 2 have to be turned away because of a lack of resources. Arizona isn't alone in this problem. The citizens in every other state in our country are facing similar legal challenges and a lack of legal aid resources. Some months ago, as part of the Supreme Court's 5-year strategic agenda, I created the Arizona Commission on Access to Justice to look at many issues, including the problem of funding for legal aid. I appointed Judge Larry Winthrop to chair that statewide commission, and he is here to talk to you about an opportunity we all have to help.
Thanks, Chief. Our commission is made up of judges, lawyers, educators, business leaders, and other members of the public from all over the state. We've looked at the civil legal needs of our poverty population, as Chief Justice Bales mentioned, and have also looked at the tremendous rise in the number of people who, by choice or circumstance, are representing themselves in court disputes, and what can be done to assist them in that process. We've made a number of recommendations, all of which have been approved by the Arizona Judicial Council. Those proposals include a pilot court program to help self-represented individuals navigate through the family courts, and a program that trains our public libraries to be legal information resource centers that each of us can access, in even the smallest communities across our state. And we are creating a virtual legal resource center on the web, where citizens with legal problems can go to find out about court rules and procedures, can access electronic instructions and forms, and can attend online seminars and legal clinics with volunteer lawyers. We are building partnerships across Arizona to help with these issues because they affect all of us, in our neighborhoods, in our jobs, in our schools, and across our respective communities. So we are working across the state with the courts, with the legal community, with the business community, with our legislature, and with the executive branch. You can be our partner too. The state of Arizona offers an income tax credit for donations we make to qualifying charitable organizations that provide legal services to the poor. These organizations have been qualified by the Arizona Department of Revenue and all provide free civil legal aid to our most vulnerable population. Why should we do that? First, we get a dollar-for-dollar credit against any state income tax liability. not just a deduction for charitable donation, but an actual tax credit. Second, independent experts have looked at the data and calculated that for every dollar invested in civil legal aid, the community, that's us, gets almost $7 value returned in the form of increased revenue because people are able to stay in their homes, pay property taxes, keep their jobs, and spend money. Or in decreased expense to us because there is a decreased demand on community-funded services such as emergency housing and emergency health care. That's a return to all of us of 639%. How does it work? Each individual can get the dollar-for-dollar credit for $400 donated. Those filing jointly can get an $800 credit. For example, if you owe $500 in state income taxes, but you've donated to one of the qualifying legal aid programs, as a single filer, you actually only owe $100. If you're filing jointly and you owe $900 in state income taxes, but you've donated to one of the qualifying legal aid programs, you actually only owe $100. Now that's a deal. Make your donation by April 15. You probably want to know what organizations qualify for these donations. Here are several organizations that provide free legal services to our working poor. The Justice Project, Arizona Women's Education and Employment, Christian Legal Aid of Arizona, Community Legal Services, Defenders of Children, DNA People's Legal Services, Southern Arizona Legal Aid, Tucson Family Advocacy Program, and William E. Morris Institute for Justice. You can make these donations directly to each of the charitable organizations, or you can go to the Bar Foundation's website and make the donation there. This tax credit is separate from, and in addition to, any donation you want to make for the school tuition tax credit. And most importantly, the dollars we invest through the tax credit may make the difference in our neighbors' ability to stay in their home, to keep their job, to obtain the education and health care their families need, and to be protected against unscrupulous businesses.
Our Pledge of Allegiance closes with the phrase, "and justice for all." By taking advantage of the tax credit, you are helping us make that phrase a meaningful reality. You will be helping real people resolve their legal problems so they can remain productive citizens. And you get a dollar-for-dollar tax credit for your donation. It's a win-win for all of us. Thank you for helping achieve equal access to justice for all Arizonans.